If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everybody, it's Scott sitting in my portable movie studio doing the weekly recap Q&A show. That's the show where we talk about questions and comments from last week on YouTube and in email, and I also share with you all the links found below that accumulated on Facebook and that I publish on Twitter as well. So go ahead and enjoy those if you want. You can tab away because all I'm going to do is talk with the occasional annotation. And if you're wondering why I'm sitting in my car, it's because it provides the perfect acoustic environment for the show, because I'm only using on-camera mics with my Sanyo Exacti CG10. Anyway, so the question last week was, what about live streaming? I got a lot of great comments about what people thought, and I didn't want anybody to think for a second that I'm ever going to stop doing this show. It seems to be people seem to like it a little bit. In order to do a live streaming show, that would make a lot of sense, but I was curious about what people thought about live streaming, because I think it might have some potential. One thing I thought about that some people brought up is that, you know, it could be a good, effective, maybe behind-the-scenes thing while I'm setting up and doing shoots, if you're curious. I realize people wouldn't tune in for the whole thing, probably, but it might be a good idea. So streaming has potential. I haven't quite harnessed it yet, and plus it's not really available to everyone on YouTube, which is where I would do it. I wouldn't want to leave YouTube, such as Google Plus or Ustream, because I make a little bit of money on YouTube, so I want to kind of stay in this area. So that's what I'm thinking. But I appreciate everyone's comments, of course, and compliments. I get a lot of those over the past week and ever since I've had the channel up, and I appreciate everything. I'm sorry if I don't appear to be more thankful, but I am for everything and all the views people have given me. So with that being said, let's move on, and we'll actually, the question that I wanted to bring up this week was something somebody brought up on Facebook, and I can't remember if it's in the questions now, but I'll go ahead and just put it out there. Is that the Facebook group is really popular. A lot of people in the UK, United Kingdom, have said, hey, all the stuff that you're talking about we don't have access to, such as PVC, or they do have access to it, but it's just really expensive. So how about a UK Facebook group? So for all of you international viewers or listeners, or I guess those just in the UK, would you prefer your own group? Of course, that would also make me wonder, well, should there be a group for Canada? Should there be a group for the Middle East? I mean, I don't know. Just tell me your thoughts. Should there be a specific Facebook group for other parts of the world? Maybe that would be more beneficial. I wouldn't be able to moderate. Well, I would be moderating those. I guess I'd be setting them up. But maybe the more specific kind of niche parts of the world that could benefit from specific finds and deals that aren't always available outside the United States. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and get right in. Oh, and the video this week is actually an experimental one. I'll probably talk about it at the end of the show a little more. Is that essentially I'm going to ask people to watch a video and fill out a survey, which has nothing to do with any kind of monetary thing. It's kind of a school project, so I was wondering if you wouldn't mind helping me out. It is a short film too, so you'll get that benefit if it is a benefit to you. So that's coming this Wednesday or Thursday. Alright, so let's jump right into the comments so I can try and get this done in under 10 minutes. The first comment was from the recap Q&A show last week about live streaming. Somebody asks, Cryova Studio made a comment on the last recap Q&A and said, or asked, what is essential for a filmmaker after a good camera and lights? This is a wide open question, but I'll just make some general comments here. Audio, definitely. Half of the experience, in my opinion, is sound. Make sure you have good sound, a decent microphone, good way to record it, whether it's in your camera or a separate audio recorder. And then once you're done shooting everything, of course, you got to edit, so you're going to need an editor. And the one I recommend is Movie Studio HD, which is the real basic version of Vegas. It's $30, and then you're going to need to do sound design, which you can do in Vegas. So that would be my recommendation: a good source of audio, and then a good way to edit. Those are real basic comments, real general comments, I realize, but you could, I mean, that's a really general question. Hope I helped you answer it. Percane made a comment on the same video, the recap last week. I've been thinking about trying my hand at doing skits, but I'm not a very good actor. Do you have any tips that might help me be more natural in front of the camera? Well, my first thought would be take an acting class. They're usually not that expensive. You can take them through a local community center or community college. Now they might be kind of expensive. Or get in with a local acting class. If you really want to improve your acting skills, that's the way to do it. You need to get around other actors. You need to get around a decent acting instructor, and they will help you. Trying to do that on your own, I'm not exactly sure about a DIY acting school, because, you know, hang around the experts. Try local theater. coming from a theater family myself, I know that that will only help you. And not that I'm a big fan of being in front of the camera, because I'm not. But if you get around other actors, other people that do this, you will benefit from them. So just look them up on the internet, local schools, acting classes, they're out there. Okay, Ender3's Mans made a comment on the audio crate saying, ever need a headphone amplifier or signal booster? You know, just in case the Y adapters you've got going there don't output a strong enough signal. Referring to the XLR Y adapter. When I use that Sennheiser shotgun mic, I do not need a signal booster. That microphone has its own internal, it runs on a AA battery, but it's a hot mic. I have to crank the levels down when I use it because they're so powerful. I mean, it's like, if you set manual audio levels, it's usually about half of what it normally is because the mic is so strong. Now, as far as the lav, the cheap Radio Shack lav mic that I use with my Zoom H1, it's a weak microphone. So I usually have to, well, when I plug it into my camera, it runs about normal. I can hit about 12 dB with the manual setting pretty easily. But if I'm using it on the Zoom H1, I got to crank the gain up all the way when it's in manual mode. It's just a weaker microphone. So there you go, if that answers your question. DPCom1 made a comment on the recap Q&A from Should I Use Google Plus? He says, I know you mentioned using Sony Vegas when asked about editors, but one thing about Sony Vegas, it is not very frugal. Would you have any recommendations that are a bit more frugal? Like, I guess I just mentioned this. Movie Studio HD is a stripped version of Vegas. It's about $30. That's pretty frugal, and it's a pretty good editor. I believe you get like 5 to 10 levels of audio and video. You don't get color correction, you don't get masking, but it's a lot better than the free Movie Maker. I'm not sure about iMovie because I've never used iMovie, but that's the one I would recommend. It's cheap and it works. Really good. Zeke02666 made a comment on the Frugal Crane 2.0. How does the Kobe monitor connect to the camera? RCA connectors? How is the video quality on the Kobe? And battery life? Thanks. Well, I got that monitor. This is my bargain hunting wife found it. A great whiz-bang deal at $10, which was like a local promotion in a department store. They just wanted to get you into the store to buy the bigger stuff. She picked it up for $10. And it acts like a $10 monitor. You can't connect it with RCA connectors, but it's got its own proprietary cable, and you need an RCA coupler to actually get outputs from like your camera. You need to couple it with the cable that comes with the Kobe. But it's in the video quality, it's an SD monitor. It's not really that good when you're downgrading from HD to an SD monitor, but it helps you with composition and framing. That's basically all you use it for. All I use it for. Check your camera, where you can see a much sharper picture for color and everything. The Kobe isn't a good representation of color, just framing. So that's what I use it for. Battery life, terrible. The internal battery quickly died, and for me to use it, I have to plug it into the wall or get an external battery. So you get what you pay for, right? All right, DQ Nguyen91 made a comment on the Frugal Floater. Would this rig work with a Canon Rebel T2i 550D, or would you need more counterweight to balance it out? I've had this question before. It doesn't work. It doesn't seem to work with DSLRs. People have tried it, and it's just the form factor isn't designed well for a larger, more square camera. So we wouldn't recommend building it if you have a DSLR. The rig will need a redesign for that, which I'll do in the future. So sorry. Mojo23 made a comment on clamp lighting. Do you recommend heavy-duty bulbs so if you bump them when they're on, they don't break the filament? You know, I have had people bump into those stands and blow lights, but considering you can get 4 incandescent bulbs for $1 still, I wouldn't worry about heavy-duty bulbs because they blow. You swap them out, you're only losing 25 cents, and you probably got a bunch of them. Buy extras. Okay, on to email. Alan Rayner. Rayner Allen. Rayner Allen. Sorry, Rayner. He says, I'm an aspiring filmmaker who has found your DIY videos very useful. What I want to build, however, now is a flying rig to hold up my actor in a flight scene like Superman. This might be a bit over the top, but if there's a way you could devise a rig for this means, I would love to see it. You know, if I did make a rig like that, I don't think I would ever publish it because, you know, a lot of these things I build, you know, your camera is at risk. And you're taking your camera's life into your own hands when you put it, like on the crane, for example. You're putting your camera on the end of a 10-foot pole. And if you break it, well, it's not my fault. It worked for me. But, you know, you always have to practice caution. However, when you're putting a person up in a DIY rig, I wouldn't recommend doing that, and I'm not going to ever publish plans for something that I built if I ever did something that crazy, because if someone gets hurt, I could get sued, or I would just feel incredibly guilty. I just would recommend you don't do this. Either, use certified, I don't know, mountain climbing gear or whatever, but I would rather, if you're going to do something like Superman, use a chroma key, where they're on the ground. If you're going to do something fancier than that, I mean, do it at your own risk, but I wouldn't really recommend doing it, because you don't want to hurt your friends or people that want to be in your movies, because they won't ever be in your movies again, and they'll tell everybody that you run an unsafe set. So be very careful, whatever you choose to do, but I would never publish or design a rig that I was going to show to the world, suspending anyone like Superman. Of course, maybe if you're 2 inches off the ground, I guess that's different, but I don't get the impression that's kind of what you're after. So you use a chroma key. It's so much safer. And yes, the effect's cheesy, but it's better than hurting someone or putting them at risk. All right, Andrea Wise asks about the latest video. He said you had a Radio Shack Lav microphone. What is the name of the microphone then? Because I really need a mic, and yours sounds great. Well, thanks. That might have more to do with what I'm recording it on, which is the Zoom H1. However, the Radio Shack mic is the clip-on mic. It's $33 now, which is a ridiculous price. You can get an Audio-Technica equivalent for about $20 on Amazon. I'll leave you the link below, or I can't annotate for that. Okay, so yeah, it's like the ATR-3350, I think. It's the same mic. Radio Shack just rebrands it, and their power supply design is a little different, but it's the same microphone for $20. So get it from Amazon. And you can help me by giving me a small percentage of your purchase, because we go through that link. Satnam Khalsa asks about the quick release mount. He says, to connect the SEMA quick connect to the original PVC rig stabilizer, how long should the final bolt be? I believe I answered this question before. It was in 1.25 inches, but also remember that I did cut off the top of the T-joint so that it was flush. So that's why it was that length. It's a little, you can always put a longer bolt in there, obviously, but that's what I did. I chopped off the top of the T-joint, so it was about the same height with the SEMA quick connect, but it was about 1.25 inches. Carlos Ramis, do you sell or have an online store or something where you sell any of the DIY products? I don't. I mean, it's all cheap PVC pipe, basically, so I don't even know if I feel confident selling that stuff. But I'm really, as I've said before on this show, I'm really in the game here to try and design new stuff and share it with people and have them build it. I'm not really in it to make a lot of money manufacturing. I don't want to get into the whole manufacturing thing where I'm taking time away from filmmaking and this channel and the blog and everything else to set up a store. Not something I'm completely interested in doing, just from the time element. However, Bruce Philpott says, sign me up for a black t-shirt when you offer them. It will be in good company. I wear a cheesy cam, defocus, Jag 35, and film tools. Sincerely, Bruce Philpott. That's not a bad idea, because that might be something that I could, well, first of all, I'd need a logo, and if you guys are interested, anybody out there interested who's a graphic arts person, would like to design me a Frugal Filmmaker logo that I could put on a t-shirt, then maybe I could take orders, and when they reach a certain amount, like 100, then I could print 100 t-shirts for everybody. But I don't know, what do you guys think? T-shirt. I think this has been brought up before. People seem to like it. Like the t-shirt idea. So that's everything for this week. Remember, the question is about the UK Facebook group. For all you UK or international or closer to the UK people, would you like your own Facebook group? Which just means you'd have to be more active in that group and finding deals and sharing them. But is that something you'd be interested in doing? Don't really need a moderator. You just need participation. And this week, again, is the experimental video thing coming out Wednesday or Thursday. If you wouldn't mind participating in that. Again, it's not for monetary means. It's just it's a school assignment. But there is a short film attached that you might like, and I could always do a making of show later on that video. So I hope everybody have a great week. Good luck making your film projects, and I will see you 1 week from now on the weekly recap Q&A. Adios.